everybody, welcome back to Arise with Sally Goodwin and to our 10-minute Tuesdays segment. I'm so grateful to each and every one of you who watch and support and share and like and subscribe and do all the things that need to be done on social media these days. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and thank you so much for taking the time to share these videos with others and to encourage people to like and subscribe to my various social media channels. So the past couple of 10-minute Tuesdays, I have been speaking about this new season that we are going into. I've been speaking about the new things of God from Isaiah 43, the new streams in the desert and the rivers in the wilderness and all of those things. And I've also been speaking about this transition period that we are in as we transition from one space into another space and as we move forward into the new things of God. And a transition period is never easy. And often what happens during a transition period is that the enemy throws a whole lot of other things at you at the same time, just to, accumulate everything. And often what it does is it causes us to take our eyes off God, or it causes us to take our eyes off what God is doing in our lives. And for those of you who watch these videos and don't live in Cape Town or don't live in South Africa, here in Cape Town, over the last couple of days, the most horrendous fires have absolutely ravaged our beautiful city. I have friends who have had to evacuate their homes. There has been so much destruction from these fires, priceless literature, so much has been destroyed. It's actually heartbreaking. And to add to that, we as a family have had a few other things thrown at us. So you know that we've sold our house, you know that we don't know where we're going yet. And we have had recently just a few other challenges passed our way, which have been quite heartfelt and difficult. And last night, I have to be honest, I went to bed feeling quite despondent and quite sort of just really, tired, tired of fighting, tired of transitioning, I guess. And this morning when I woke up, I had this song going through my head, and I'm not going to sing it. It's a secular song, and it's not a song that I listen to or ever did listen to, but I recognize it probably from my boys. And it's that song that goes, I get knocked down and I get up again, that song. And it was going through my mind over and over and over again. And I said to the Lord, what are you trying to tell me? And God pointed me back to Isaiah 43. And now, I love the Amplified Bible. The Amplified Bible is my favorite Bible. Probably followed quite closely by the Passion Translation. But there are some days where you need the Message Bible, where you just need to read the straightforward, just the straightforward words that are written in the Message Bible for it to actually get into your mind and get into your heart. So God pointed me in the direction of the Message Bible, and he took me back to Isaiah 43, which, as you know, I've spoken on before. God is doing a new thing. Do you not perceive it? He will make rivers in the desert, streams in the wilderness, or whichever the way it goes. But at the beginning of Isaiah 43, those verses are towards the end. If you go back to the beginning of Isaiah 43, in the Message Bible, the chapter is actually called When You're Between a Rock and a Hard Place. And I was like, okay, you know where I am, Lord. And this is what it says at the beginning of Isaiah 43. Don't be afraid. I've redeemed you. I've called your name. You're mine. When you're in over your head, I'll be there with you. When you're in rough waters, you'll not go down. When you're between a rock and a hard place, it won't be a dead end, because I am God, your personal God, the Holy of Israel, your Savior. And he goes on to say, I paid a huge price for you. That's how much you mean to me. That's how much I love you. I'd sell off the whole world to get you back, trade the creation just for you. And what just was very apparent to me from this is that he doesn't say that you won't ever be in over your head. He doesn't say that you won't ever go through rough waters, and he doesn't say that you'll never be between a rock and a hard place. But what he does say is that he'll be there the whole time. He will be there because he loves you and because he knows. And then he took me to 2 Corinthians chapter 4. And in 2 Corinthians chapter 4, it says, we've been surrounded and battered by troubles, but we're not demoralized. We're not sure what to do, but we know that God knows what to do. We've been spiritually terrorized, but God hasn't left our side. We've been thrown down, but we haven't broken. And as I read those words, I thought, wow, Lord, what you're saying is that we will be surrounded and battered by troubles. We have been spiritually terrorized. We will be spiritually terrorized. We will be thrown down. But he is there. He hasn't left our side. And he knows. We're not sure what to do. And honestly, just to be honest with you right now, as a family, we're not sure what to do. But God knows what to do. And so I'm not sure how many of you are facing just this transition season where you just actually are thinking what is going on, where maybe you, like me, are going to bed in the evenings just demoralized, just from everything that's happening around you, apart from the fact that just this month that we're in is a torrid time in the spirit. So there's so much happening in the spirit realm as well. If you're sensitive to that, that actually just adds to everything else. So I just want to comfort you with those words, just as God comforted me. He didn't say to me, Sally, it's all going to go away. You won't have to worry about a thing. But he said to me, I know, I'm with you. I will go through all of this with you. I will never leave your side. And sometimes all we want is for Jesus to calm the storm. Sometimes all we want is for him to just make it all go away so that everything can be as it was. And sometimes that's not what God does. Sometimes what he says to us is, find me in the storm so that I can walk with you. And those moments, from testimonies that I've heard of other people, even after the storm is over and they've gone through it, they wouldn't swap it for anything because of the depth of what they've learned about God and his grace and his love and his mercy. So right now, for all of you out there who are struggling through this transition season, who the enemy is throwing things at left, right, and center, just go back, read Isaiah 43, read 2 Corinthians 4, and reassure yourself that God knows and he's there with you. And I just decree and declare over you this morning, new, deep encounters and experiences with God in the midst of whatever storm you might be facing. So sending so much love and so many blessings your way. Please don't forget to watch tomorrow our Women Rising Wednesdays. It is our 3rd interview with Carol Joy Williams, and it's a doozy. We cover some pretty controversial topics, and we're preparing for our next week live Q&A. So please feel free to watch that, and then Thursday Truths, of course, with me, and I'll be seeing you again soon. Love you lots. Thank you so much. Goodbye.